Todd, Viz Caronto. Midfielders, a 6'2" junior from Farmingdale, New York. Number 9, Brian Baxell. 5'10" senior from Victoria, British Columbia. Number 14, Del Halliday. And a 6'2" senior from Edgewood, Maryland. Number 24, Zach Thornton. On defense, a 6'2" freshman from Darien, Connecticut. Number 5, Jamie Hanford. A 6'1" junior from Potomac, Maryland. Number 8, Brendan Tye. A 6' senior from Prince Frederick, Maryland. Number 17, Chris Lloyd. Danny Doyle, a 6' senior from Linthicum, Maryland. Number 23, Tim McGee. Greyhound assistant coaches, Bill Dargo, Chris Kovac, and Bill Dwan. Loyola's head coach now in his 13th season is Dave Carl.
the ball!
That's it, Maddie! Move the ball! Down.
Come on, James! All right. Take it, Matthew! Go defense!
The ball!
The ball! Let's go defense!
Stay on him! Yes! Come on, James, get him! Stay on him! Stay on him! Stay on him!
Get the ball!
All right, good Hodgie, good Hodgie.
He throws it.
Guys, stick. Got it was a check. You're missing a good game, ref. You can't shoot from behind the goal. Good job. One of the back.
What's the call? What's the call?
Scoring the stand. But you can't pass it right through a long stick right into his midsection.
Let's go defense!
Way to go, Tim!
Let's go defense!
Got him worried.
Come on, Jamie!
Slide.
Good
Way to recover.
Keep it up! Keep it up!
Yeah.
Clear! Man on!
on, guys. Yeah, she's here no help anyway. Here comes the blood again. Damn it, these that's like that. Yep.
Still over!
I teach here, I should be.
Oh, you do? What do you teach?
Finance.
My son now.
Is he going to be in finance major?
I don't know.
Okay,
He
then
won't
you
have.
probably never have. Periodically they teach basic finance course or business major.
No. He thought about it for a minute. It's not true.
Get mad!
Come on, get rid of it!
Come on! Yeah, Ned!
Come on!
Back him!
Ridiculous. Not sticking the ball in the guy's name and nothing else to do.
Yeah. He's doing like a story. So we're gonna let him go through the whole thing.
It's a good thing you ain't continue knowing that. Indeed.
Come on!
Maddie, hit him!
Let's go wide!
Go, Maddie! Go, Maddie, hit him! Yeah, Matt! Yeah, Matt, nice job!
Good defense. Good wide.
Come on, somebody come help.
Come on, run it to the line! Right to the goal! Stupid.
What's up, man?
Somebody should be open.
Let's go defense! Come on, take it away!
Yeah. Deep. Come on down.
No, the red is that's what the ref did. He saw the white line after he got it down before, remember? We told him it was red. Right there, it's dangerous.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on, guys, you got the smaller sticks. You're going to be able to handle it better.
Get him, Maddie, hit him!
Let's go!
Yeah, Matt.
Got away with that one.
Come on, keep your feet now! Keep your feet!
Come on, let's go. Do something. Let's go wide! Well, that was a pass to the keeper just about. Shoot on goal! Shoot! Shoot! God almighty!
Assist number 2, Brian Duffy. Halliday on the goal, Brian Duffy on the assist for the Greyhounds.
Oh, come on.
He's holding it!
Carolina's going to have one win today in the fourth. I'd much rather have it in the best. Standard there. We lucky. We lucky. That's not supposed to happen. Come on, defense! Wake up! Concentrate! Oh, you're also playing zone.
Take him out! Come on, that's a pick!
Well, the guy moved a little bit like that and stepped in. It wasn't much of one. It'll be interesting with Carolina, Arkansas tonight. They're probably going to control the game. Yep.
He's coming in, he's coming in!
Come on, guys, let's pay attention to the game. Knock him out.
Good shot.
Get it!
Take the ball away! Take it, Dudley! Take it, Dudley!
Run it!
Oh, he's going to say he hit him from the back.
Let's go, Rep!
What he said. Oh, yeah.
We'll make you see your foot. Yep. Very good. Always a fast break. You 5 defense and 3 offense. That's not what you call a fast break. Nope.
Come on, go in, go in. Come on, Matt. Come on, Matty, hit him!
Gilman!
Well, let's learn how to throw the ball, guys.
the first half of the score. Loyola 3, Nelson State 3.
I have to go like this when I see Matt in the States.
They look great. On the body, it doesn't. And I had one to see you. Just like
Tim Rankin, unassisted.
I know, Maria. All right, in and out, ref.
On the goal, Brian Duffy on the assist.
Whoa.
Final score, Johns Hopkins 13, North Carolina 9. Final score, Maryland 11, Virginia 12. Assist number 2 is on the ground, Brian Duffy on the assist.
Come on, Maddie.
The assist number 2, Brian Duffy.
No, I saw something about it. I put one sheet aside, I put one sheet aside. I was like, who? Maryland. I don't think Maryland.
Boston State penalty.
I think
The assist number 2, Brian Duffy, his 5th of the game. 8 minutes 53 seconds into the 3rd quarter. Loyola 8, Kelson 4. Del Halliday on the extra man goal, Brian Duffy on the assist.
all right.
Sustained goal, scorer number 16, Bob Doherty. 11 minutes, 3 seconds. End of the third quarter, Loyola 9, Towson State 5. Bob Doherty, the goal for Towson.
If you're not,
quarter. Loyola 11, Carrollton State 5, Del Halliday on the door. Loyola.
27 seconds. Let's get it off. 20 seconds.
Going back to Friday.
Is that number 12 your son? Or
Yeah.
what school did he go to? That's their one that's sweet. That's
Nice save.
Nice going, young man.
Yeah, I think Hopkins, they just got too much offense.
yeah, it's getting weird.
Nice save. Don't think about the goal, Brendan.
You get all the games or just the one you play next week?
Next week they play up in New York at Hofstra on Friday night.
For Towson State, a 5-9
Yeah, we get a break. That's a home game for us.
1 wide Shipwick.
Thank you. Couple of goals.
Pass it there. Pass it.
Did you see what it's like? Yeah, she said, Rick Brown, and then I put that letter to the blanket. What's going on right now? So I've got a blanket. Come on, Maddie!
Zach, go left. Go left.
Oh, here comes.
Whoa!
Nice shot. Try to force it.
He's a good athlete, Zach.
Well, I know you feel a lot of affinity toward him. When you played here, you were the fastest guy on the team.
Double, double, double.
Box, Zach!
right. Go right. You got it, you got it. It's going to be the job.
Why would you have that guy face off?
Rotate left, right, dummy. Come on, pass the ball.
Oh, watch for the ball. Pipe.
These are ones I found at work.
How do you know they're on the
I found out at work. That's Cheryl. Cheryl Crow. Piano where you teach other guys. Actually, maybe if I owned a couple of jerseys, you'd like what you say?
Did you go shut up? Yeah, Mom. She's making that candy. I think it's right, but I can't talk.
There you go, Mrs. Dave. Shoot it! Shoot it! We need 3 more saves! Shoot it! Oh, yeah, everyone here, right? Shoot it!
Hit him, Maddie!
Good hustle, Jack! Stop the wounds, stop the wounds. Everyone heard my question.
No, we're all answering it.
Show the whole crowd. Couldn't because he was annoying. He wasn't annoying, was he? Yeah, he's good. He played football. That's a nice
Dead last time.
5 yards, huh? He said it's 5 yards off the field. Watch the ball! Lock your back.
Titanium lacrosse handballs. Into the fourth quarter, Sean Ryan scores for Tacit State.
You guys are broke. Absolutely broke.
when they face
Have a good trip.
To see whether or not they can become the first team to inflict a loss on the Blue Jays. Earlier tonight, I spoke with their head coach, John Danowski, and asked him how he goes about trying to inflict that first loss.
Well, they're a great team. Tremendous coach. He's my mentor in a lot of ways. I've learned quite a bit from Tony over the years. And I think you still have to stay true to what you do. While you scout and you prepare, you still got to do what you do well. And I think that's the thing that we're trying to focus on tonight.
It will not be easy tonight, but the emotion side of Hofstra is evident down here on the field. They are ready for this game. A few years ago, when Hopkins first appeared on the schedule, maybe they were a little nervous about playing this team with great tradition. But in speaking with the coaches and the players, they are ready for tonight's game. Upstairs to you, Barry.
Thank you very much, Matt. We're just about ready for a face-off here. And the referee tonight, Ed Schreiber, the umpire, Tim Cullen, field judge, Tim Murray. Number 12 for Hofstra in yellow, Robert Minnow, facing off with the All-American Peter Jacobs, number 24. And Minnow surprisingly comes up with the ball for Hofstra.
Well, Peter Jacobs is considered the best face-off man in the country right now. And that's kind of a surprise. Maybe he was a little bit of a weight. He's not used against Minnow. Minnow's a big kid also.
Hofstra will settle it down, as we heard John Danowski tell us, and even earlier, they've got to play smart, disciplined, and value the ball here.
Exactly. Value the ball and take good shots. Take good shots. Don't force the ball.
We'll set the lineup for you. The attack is 15, Kevin Jacobs, 28, Blake Miller, 42, Chris Panos. In the midfield, number 11, Scott Sullivan. Number 20, Brian Holland. He's their scorer. And this is Vinny Hannigan going one-on-one. Now swings it back to the playmaker, Jacobs. Jacobs rolling left. Gets the shot off. Marcus with the save. And he's a great positional goalie and a great outlet passer, but Hofstra will come up with this ground ball here.
A little bit quick, but the problem with Jacob's shot that he shot low and he dropped the stick, so Marcus anticipated, brought his stick down, made a good save.
This is Scott Sullivan, the midfielder, inverting against the short stick. And apparently Hofstra turns it over, and the ball will go over to Johns Hopkins.
Barry, it's a mystery to me. I have no idea what happened then. He might have gone out of bounds. I'm not sure.
Marcus, a great passer, and he's like an extra player on the defense out there. Now Hopkins working the ball across midfield. And we'll set their lineup for you. Now they switch off. They have that long pole player off. And in midfield, it'll be number 15, Milford Marchant, number 24, Peter Jacobs, number 28, Billy Evans. And that is Evans inverting, taking against the short stick that time of Brian Holland. Evans, who's a good passer, feeds on the crease. That's Reardon. He couldn't handle the pass. As he goes after it over there with Dave Heumann, it'll be Hofstra ball.
A good play, a very good play by Hofstra. What they did was be patient on defense. When the pass was made, good check, ball rolls out of bounds, Hofstra's ball. This is where they've been having problems clearing the ball. What they've got to do is make sure they don't throw the ball away now. They can't give it up.
Reardon has played well in the 3 games against Hofstra, but not overwhelming numbers. He's had 5 goals, 6 assists. When you look at his numbers that he scored against some of the best teams in the nation, that's not overwhelming.
Well,
but
that's
he can
what
break out.
impresses me about him, Barry. He scores best when he has to be.
Now Hofstra bringing the ball down. And we'll set their lineup for you right here.
And the longer Hofstra can stay in this kind of game, the better it is for Hofstra. They'll get used to playing these guys, get the butterflies out, and also they'll say, hey, we can beat these guys. We can stay with them.
Now a bad pass. That's one of the unforced errors that Hofstra's been guilty of, coming way out through at the young goalie. And he got it upfield. And checked that time against Brian Langtree. And now the ball will go back over to Johns Hopkins.
They've got to get the ball in the box within 10 seconds. That's the only thing I can think of as to why they call that.
And this is Jacobs, very calm and cool out of the cage, one of the best passers as a goalie, but the pass mishandled right there, and both teams with unforced errors right here. That time Michael Noonan, the midfielder, couldn't handle it.
Well, first of all, Hopkins got to get used to the lights here. They got to get used to the ground a little bit. They're going to get their feet wet, so to speak. I think that's what's happening right now.
Hofstra did have 2 workouts here, or rather Hopkins did work out last night and also had a run-through this afternoon. So they're familiar with the field. As Hofstra with possession right now, Brian Langtree, young midfielder, number 3. His brother Rich is a defender. This is Jacobs working against Kuzma.
I'll tell you, it looks like Kuzma, they want to go one-on-one with him.
Kuzma fell down, but the pass could not be handled. And Hopkins aggressive defensively, but Hofstra maintaining possession here. As they go to the cage, and the pass again goes awry. Rich Gargiulo trying to get to it, could not. Gargiulo number 2, and it's scooped up right here by Hofstra. Robert Minnow over there, and now they'll work it outside. 42 is Chris Panos. We have played some 3 minutes, 40 seconds of a scoreless first quarter. Hofstra with the ball, and Panos misfiring. But they had a backer, Jacobs, closest to the ball as it left the field.
And you're talking about a guy like Chris Panos. He played at Sachem. A couple of years ago, Sachem did a huge upset against Ward Melville, which is a great power here in Long Island. So these guys know what it's like to win.
Jacobs with a beautiful look. Rich Gargiulo with the score. Gargiulo, one of the major disappointments here at Hofstra. A kid who was on the World under-19 junior team, hasn't blossomed, but came up with a big goal there.
A great cut, Barry. I think he catches it left-handed and drives in the lower corner. Hofstra looks good right now. Hopkins has got to be thinking, we're playing a number 16 team. Maybe they're looking ahead a little bit.
That's goal number 5 for Rich Gargiulo. He had a goal and 4 assists against Delaware.
Okay, here it goes. Look at him look. Big, tall body, catches it lefty. Good concentration, Barry. Takes an excellent shot. And there you saw Kevin Jacobs, Kevin Jacobs finding him, finding the open man, and hitting with a great pass.
Off the face-off, this time Jacobs trying to come up with it. He's won about 63% of his face-offs. He's a dominating face-off man.
Tony Stevens says he's the best overall ball player. He's got 105 ground balls, by far the leader, and the best face-off player in the country.
All-American candidate. He was an All-American last year. Reardon diving, goes out of bounds, and Hofstra fired up. This is what Hofstra needed. They've got to play on emotion, something that sometimes they've been criticized, not showing a whole lot of emotion.
Well, that's what they're doing, Barry. This is great. Notice they bring a midfielder down to clear the ball, which is good. Spruitt's got a lot more confidence. He's a sophomore goaltender, quality goalie. They can't now throw the ball away. They've got to clear the ball consistently.
That goal for Gargiulo was his 2nd of the year. He had 4 goals last year. His only goal came in the first game against Delaware when he had a goal and 4 assists. This is midfielder Brian Holland, number 20. He's their go-to guy in the midfield, leads the midfield in scoring with 16. That's an area which has been really disappointing this year in terms of offensive production.
Well, they've had a couple of problems. They had a kid, Mike Bessio, who came in who got hurt, who to get him some size and quality on attack. Tony Alexander's been hurt all year, one of their recruits from up in Syracuse, so they're not as powerful offensively as they'd like to be.
Speaking of injuries, they get an opportunity and a score here. Fired from a bounce shot by Blake Miller, the attackman going to the midfield and driving that one by a stun, Jonathan Marcus. And Miller with his 13th goal. He's been hot of late. He had 3 against Georgetown, 2 against Army, and he gets 1 here.
Well, I like the adage, Blake Miller is one of 11 children. He's probably hungry all the time to go to the cage. It was an excellent play by Blake. Went down hard on the goal. Good high shot away from the goalie stick. Real fine move. Here he goes. Now watch the defenseman fall over. Falls over. Blake shoots high away from the goalie stick. Excellent shot.
Milford Marchant was the short stick midi trying to contain him. Not known for his defense, more for his offense there.
Well, that was the good matchup on a one-on-one there. Also, Barry, I'll tell you, every field like this, every artificial turf has a little bit different nap to it. You saw Marchant fall down. It might be because he went against the nap and fell.
Tony Seaman, who began his coaching career here on Long Island, the native of upstate New York, was an outstanding high school coach.
Coach at Lindbergh High School, where Marcus is from and where Quint Kesnick was from.
Opportunity, Gargiulo with a good look. It hits the pipe and bounces away. Set up for Michael Clark. Gargiulo setting up Clark there. Oh, my.
You know, and the referee actually, I think, blew this call. The referee thought it was in. There's the referee saying, my fault. He said he tried it. That's great.
John Danowski showing some emotion, patting Michael Clark and saying, nice try there, young man. He's a freshman from upstate Corning, New York, who had a couple of goals. He thought he had number 3 there.
That's too bad. Well, I think they might have called someone in the crease then.
But Gargiulo playing well. A nice look that time after he finished earlier on the goal. How about the ride here?
Well, what they're trying to do is not let them get the fast break. Notice how they came back. They didn't let them get the fast break. They want to play 6-on-6 against Hopkins.
Hopkins on the clear, having trouble as they brought it down. Aggressive play. Altmansberger, number 4, check from behind. And let's see what the call is going to be. It's going to be a loose ball push. And the ball goes back over on the push that time from number 33, Michael Noonan. Hofstra gets the ball.
Excellent. That's what they're going to do, Barry. Good aggressive defense. Smart defense.
Altmansberger took the hit that time. And the loose ball push.
Remember, Barry, 2 years ago, I think it was 7-7 at halftime, and Hopkins kind of ran away from them. Well, still, they were tough.
Hopkins certainly is a team with blessed with tremendous depth in midfield, and that could be a factor. But the weather is cool here. Teams are not going to get tired. And if Hofstra can maintain this kind of a level, not get into a run-and-gun kind of a game, then they've got a chance to stay here.
I think so, and that'll make Hopkins anxious to come out of their type of offense.
That's Tony Alexander, who you mentioned earlier, number 36, who's been injured off and on, but he's a scorer. He has 7 goals this year, had 8 last year, number 36.
Well, right now, Barry, Hofstra is dominating. They've got 5 shots. Hopkins hasn't taken his shot yet.
Hopkins coming up with the turnover, the loose ball, but an interference, and the ball goes back over to Hofstra.
Just off the pipe. It's too bad. But that's the aggressiveness they need.
Boy, John Danowski's got to be pleased as he and Coach Campbell look on there. Right now, Alexander working in the midfield, number 36, as they swing it around.
Now, notice, Barry, how they spread the defense out of Hopkins. It's looking maybe for one-on-ones or so they can't back up easily.
Brian Langtree, number 3, working in the midfield right now, along with Alexander, 36, and Gargiulo, 2. This is Gargiulo going left. Look on the crease. Marcus, good play there.
Good play by Marcus, but not the play. Rick Gargiulo forced the ball. It's too bad. That's not what they want to do.
Hopkins will clear it. Todd Carney, number 37, brought it down. The defender, a man from Long Island, one of 14 Hopkins players, 14 of their 49 players from Long Island. Boy, they have recruited effectively here.
Tony Seaman comes back to play Hofstra every year right here. One of the main reasons he comes just for that, so it's a showcase. High school kids come to see the game, so he gets good recruiting.
Now they work it around. Finally getting a potential scoring opportunity, but not a good shot by Billy Evans there as he fired it over the cage.
Well, a little anxious, but that's really the first shot that Hopkins has taken that's anywhere near the goal.
And that's almost in 7.5 minutes of play. Remember, this is a team that can score quickly. They average 17 goals a game, highest scoring team in Division I. This is Reardon, the lefty, playing on the right wing, so he's got more room to shoot at the net. But he can go with either hand, beating Human there. Big save by Spruitt.
Good save. Human's got to push it back, but he weighs 220 pounds. It's very tough to do. Great save by Spruitt, and
Spruitt, an emotional kid who gets excitable at times. But
now watch this. Human has got to push it back. See how he got behind him? He comes around. Good save, and he falls in the crease. Excellent save.
Reardon going high against Spruitt, who's a big boy himself, 6'3", 180. Here's Spruitt looking to clear, and he got it to Holland.
Good player, good bounce, a Hofstra bounce on that one.
Yes, indeed. Hofstra leading 2-0, 6:39 to go in the first quarter. Hofstra ranked number 16 in the nation, coming in with a record of 7-3. Johns Hopkins 9-0, the only undefeated team in Division I.
Now we look at that matchup of Reardon and Human. Human's been a 2-time honorable mention All-American, and John Danowski was saying he was trying to do too much this year. Just try to do his job. and play good defense. And that's a key matchup. He's got to prevent Reardon from making that kind of move.
Hofstra being very patient. Vinny Hannigan, 43, working against the short stick. Bad pass, but it's scooped up on the far side. And the bounce shot wide of Marcus. It'll still be Hofstra ball as they had a backer, Jacobs. Man cutting down, and it was Holland, but the pass went off his stick.
We got a lot of Hofstra bounces here, Barry. They're picking up most of the loose balls.
Hofstra working in the midfield right now, leading 2-0. Number 31 in the game right now is Paul Judge. And again, wide, Hofstra, Jacobs backing up. So Hofstra retaining possession here, leading 2-0 with 5:39 to go here in the first quarter. Hannigan, 43, working in the midfield with Holland, 20, and Paul Judge, number 31.
See, they like Judge because he's so big, Barry. He can match up with those big Hopkins midfielders.
Now Miller, they swing it around the periphery. Nobody in front, in the crease. They work it to the wing. Now the look that time, and the ball goes out of bounds on the pass as they try to get it to Miller on the crease.
Tough, very tough pass because that's all or nothing. And you saw that Blake was checked almost as soon as the ball was thrown. I think what they've got to do is work the ball from behind, so if a feed is missed, Hofstra's got a chance to still control the ball.
Now they haven't done that. What about the ride again by Hofstra here?
Okay, they're using a deep zone. They really respect Hopkins' speed. They don't want them to get a fast break off the ride. So this is called an attack zone. All right, if you look at that, it's called an attack zone. Prevent that fast break.
Well, Hopkins will bring it down. Surprisingly held off the board here for almost 11 minutes. Now they'll work it with number 12, working it as they work with another midfield unit. This is Chris Steer, third midfield unit on. They will rotate 3 units pretty liberally. Steer out of Cockeysville, Maryland, 1 goal, 6 assists, a good assist man. Now behind is the dangerous Brian Piccola. And that shot fired from in close was high and wide.
And that was a feed that was like directed by a laser beam. A terrific feed. Not a great shot. A good check by the Hofstra player.
Chris Macon, number 17, with that last shot that missed the cage. Piccola, who's a great feeder as well, as a guy who can come around the cage. This is Reardon, drawing a lot of attention.
He's got a short stick on it. Boy, if I was him, I'd drive hard, come around.
Marr, look on the wing, gets it back for Marr, who's a tremendous assist man. Underrated, doesn't get the recognition with the other 2 on attack.
Believe me, I know about him. He's a Yorktown kid. He was on 3 state championships in Yorktown, and he was the only junior in high school to be on the under-19 lacrosse team and was their offensive leader. So he's a terrific ball player.
Indeed, he's played on this field. Reardon shoots and he scores. Reardon going low this time on Spruitt.
You look at Reardon, all he did is jump up, catch the ball, and drive it to the far side of the goal.
Terry Reardon with his 33rd goal. Time out of the field. We'll be right back.
You need a vacation. You know, some jet airlines can take you away from all this. Fares from Newark to Fort Lauderdale, Orlando, and Tampa, St. Petersburg start at just $79 each way. Daily nonstops to Dallas, Fort Worth start from only $99 each way. And direct flights to Los Angeles start from only $129.
Okay, watch this now. This is where he uses all of his 6'4". There's Marr. Look how high he gets. Turns and shoots for the far corner. That's what might make him the best player in lacrosse today. Look how he looks across. He catches it, sets his feet, jumps up, and shoots to the far corner. Many people feel he is the best lacrosse player in the country today. A first-team All-American last year. A great find from Baldwin High School right here in Long Island.
And he
Look
was
at that
not
shot.
heavily recruited, was he?
No, he was not. He was not on the under-19 team. Neither was Peter Jacobs. These kids matured later on. Maybe it's because they were so big that they were a little awkward when they were young.
The 165th goal in his brilliant career. And what about Mr. Marcus, young man out of Lynbrook High School who starred helping his team win a championship on this very field?
Hopkins has had a run of great Lynbrook goalies. They had Quint Kesnick, who was a 4-time All-American, 2-time winner of the best goalie in the country. They've got now Marcus, and Tony Seaman coached in Lynbrook, so there's a real connection there.
Indeed. Hofstra coming up with the ball. It'll be a violation against Johns Hopkins off the faceoff. Altmansberger coming up with the ball, and now Hofstra trailing 2-1. Sullivan will go off.
I was going to say, Barry, the key here is Hofstra's got to play their game. They can't get out of it. They've been doing a great job. Keep up that kind of pressure they put on. Take those good shots. Don't give up any unforced errors.
Here's Alexander, 36, working in the midfield. Drawing the short stick. Barjulo swings it to Jacobs. Jacobs picked up by Brian Kuzma, their best one-on-one defender.
Another defenseman, that great Yorktown team.
Boy, Jim Turnbull coached that team. He retired last year, and what a tremendous job he did over the years.
Well, he retired. He's got a son at North Carolina. I figured he'd enjoy watching his son play for 4 years.
Miller had that shot off, and it'll be Hofstra ball. Not a good shot. He was well defended.
But you know what I like about Blake Miller? You know, he's really a midfielder. They've converted the tackles. Tony Alexander was hurt. Mike Bestial went down. And he's a very aggressive ball player.
Interesting story. One of 12 children.
One of 12 from Manhasset. His dad, I mentioned before, Bill Miller, is the guy who really runs the Manhasset PBC program.
That's Kevin Jacobs, young man out of Vestal High School, upstate, Pittsburgh, New York. He's had a great career at Hofstra, working on Kuzma. As is viewed from behind the cage, big crowd here at Hofstra on a lovely Tuesday evening. Deflected away. And Jacobs, the diminutive 5'8", 180-pounder, will recover.
There's only 3 assists away now from the all-time Hofstra assist record, which is held by a fellow from Uniondale named Fillmore Denty from way back in 1964.
The look on the crease, and they'll play it again on the crease. Now out up top, Alexander wheeling. Alexander has given them a 3-1 lead. The kid from East Syracuse, who had been bothered by a fractured thumb and a knee problem, has come up with a big goal here.
You saw Tony Alexander, why he was recruited by John Dineski. A very quick move and a bullet left-hand shot down to the lower left-hand corner. These guys right now, I don't think, they don't realize they're playing the #1 team, Barry. Here comes a shot. Watch that move and watch, he shoots lefty. Good screen, he shoots to the far left-hand side. Excellent shot. Todd Carney just missed him.
You'll watch number 37 try to pick him up a little late on the slide.
A little late on the slide, coming back. Now watch this, just a little bit late, and he shoots far side. Marcus does the splits, but doesn't get it.
Ryan Hofstra dominating off that faceoff. Minnow number 12 being checked from behind, and Hofstra getting to the ground ball.
Now the key on a fast break like that, Barry, is Minnow's got to get rid of the ball quicker. He came down, and they actually caught him from behind. He's got to get to the attack quicker, and set up force the defense to rotate. He didn't do that. The very happy boy, Tony Alexander, really showing his promise finally here at Hofstra. I think a lot of pressure was put on last year as a freshman.
Tony Alexander, who they're relying on quite a bit. He's just a sophomore, one of the hopes for the future for John Danowski. Brian Holland, number 20, working in the midfield with Sullivan, number 11, Scott Sullivan, out of Levittown Division High School, and a transfer from Nassau Community College. And the third midfielder, Vinnie Hannigan, out of Sachem, a Suffolk County product. Brian Holland from West Islip. So 3 Long Island kids out there right now for Hofstra. Jacobs on the crease, knocked down. Good look by Jacobs that time for Holland.
And a good save by Marcus. That's the second good save he's made in the last minute on 2 good shots.
Hopkins not looking sharp, but Reardon picks up the ball. And they'll turn it over here.
I'll tell you what he did. Reardon's so big. He took one of those big arms and tried to sweep the defenseman away, and the referee caught him.
6'4", 220-pounder. Jim Casper, of course, was his coach in high school.
Right down here watching the game right now.
A lot of the high school coaches from Long Island. Bob Hartenraft, who was a great coach at Farmingdale. A lot of his kids out here. An unforced error there by Hofstra, but Hannigan will come up with the loose puck. Boy, Hofstra get alert to the ball.
They got Hofstra bounces right now.
Now Hofstra turning it over here.
They get in the box again in 10 seconds.
And so Hopkins looking to get a little transition going here before the long stick could come in. But Altmansberger is out there with the long stick, number 4. for Hofstra. Only one long stick. The rule changes a couple of years ago.
Right. Well, it was a good, and I'm a defensive coach, but I agree with the rule. You want this game to be more run and gun. You don't want people just standing around doing nothing.
Bob, under a minute to go in a shocking first quarter. Hofstra leading 3-1 over the #1 team in the nation. Well, look at Picola fight off a couple of checks. Delayed penalty call here. They get a freebie here, and it's deflected on the close-in shot taken by Marchand.
And I'll tell you something. I thought that Picola was equally guilty of sticking his hand up and trying to drive through the guy. You're allowed equal space here.
Holding 30 seconds on Hofstra. Tony Seaman got to be worried with this club. Took Hofstra a little lightly.
But here's, for every attacker, young attacker watching, watch how he keeps driving. Look at how he's driving around that goal. He's forcing the hold. What a lot of attackers do in a case like that is when a guy presses on him, they lean back again. You got. He did this against Princeton to win.
Jacobs driving left. He's got a great shot. He fired it wide. Marr back in with 4 seconds. Quick look on the crease. Knocked out a Picola stick. Good play by Human as the first quarter will come to an end. We'd like to apologize for some audio problems we had recently, but that is the end of the first quarter. With the score, Hofstra 3 and John Hopkins 2. You're listening to...
It is the Hofstra defensive coordinator. Look how tight Hopkins is to the goal. He likened it to a basketball center getting the low post. He said, think of Patrick Ewing getting inside and establishing position. He said, that's the one thing we have to guard against. We have to try to push them away from the goal. They like to be within 8 to 10 yards of the goal. If we can push them out a little bit, that'll help us. That time you saw how tight they were to the goal. And think of Patrick Ewing, as I said, establishing position. Once they get down that low, it's awfully hard to stop them.
Indeed, Bob Rule, and when you got scorers like Reardon and Picola who can finish around the cage.
Well, they've got the ideal situation. Dave Marr stands there with radar, finds the open man, and a guy like Reardon gives him a great target to aim for.
Minnow has done an excellent job so far in the face-offs. They tie up Jacobs, and he cannot control the ball. Battled for on the ground here. Wings come into play here, a real scramble. And Hofstra will come out with the ball here. Good job by Miller to come up with the ball. Checked out of his stick. And who's going to get the ball? It's going to be Hopkins' ball.
Yeah, Milford Marchand just was very tricky. Came behind him, gave him a little check on the sidelines, and the ball just popped out of Blake's stick and went out of bounds.
Hopkins, an explosive team, trailing 3-2. Marchand will put the ball in play. Altmansberger, the long pole midi. Marchand, one of the quickest and fastest midfielders in the country.
That's what they said. That he was from down in Maryland, Loyola, and they said one of the reasons he was recruited is he's just so fast.
Let's watch him here. Blow by Altmansberger, sweeping to the right. Gets the shot off, screw it. Couldn't handle it cleanly, but comes up with it in the crease area.
Nice hit by the Hofstra defenseman. Excellent, and a good save by Spruitt. Marchand, though, dropped the stick, so he telegraphed where he was going to shoot. Spruitt, and right down, made the good save.
Hall with the clear. Hofstra with possession. As they work it, this is Craig Flynn, number 19, dropping it off. Now Jacobs will work in the midfield. Holland coming on. And Jacobs will go behind the cage where he's normally the feeder. They'll swing it to Holland. Holland will work in the midfield with Sullivan 11 and Hannigan 43, their number 1 midfield unit. Trying to open up the field here, playing it wide. Nobody in front here.
Now Hofstra, I'm looking at Hopkins rather, is putting a little more pressure on them. Notice how they're coming out to play them out beyond the box.
In case you're just tuning in, Hofstra leading early second quarter. Trying to beat Johns Hopkins for the first time ever. Holland going left. They've dropped all 6 games in the series between these two teams. Holland going right now. Checked out of his stick. Marchand chasing after it. Loose behind the cage. Kuzma comes up with it.
Nice play by Kuzma. Very quick stick.
Quick outlet here, and Hopkins looking to fast break. Evans, 28, threw it across. 24 is Peter Jacobs, so big and strong against Hannigan. Drives right. And threw it. Came up with it, but we get a flag on the play on the far side.
And a good play by Peter Jacobs. First he pulled it out, let his offense set up, then he went one-on-one on a guy a little smaller than him, and they got him for a slash. The Hofstra player, it looks like Vinny Hannigan.
Hannigan going to the box. That'll be a 1 minute. They scored just after the first penalty expired, so unofficially not a man-up goal. But
this would be great if Hofstra can hold it. Okay, watch him now. Going one-on-one, slash. He slashed him. In a slash, you got to get part of the stick. When you check your guy.
Oh, Reardon putting it in. I made it look easy. Picola with the feed that time, and Reardon has tied the score at 3 with his second goal of the game and the 166th of his brilliant career, the all-time leading scorer at Johns Hopkins.
And you're right there. He's such a big target for a guy to hit for the feed. That's just what happened then. And Picola, they've been looking for each other for the last 3 years, so they really know each other's moves. He's a strong lefty. Came off the left from a low post in lacrosse, cut the ball and bangs.
Werner Kruger now will take the face-off. Jacobs getting a blow here on the face-off, and also a change for Hofstra on the face-off right here. We'll pick it up for you. Not Minnow taking the face-off, and Hofstra coming up with it. That was Chris Ferguson for Hofstra. So a good win for Hofstra there, as the face-offs have been pretty even. That's an area that Hofstra was quite concerned going up against Jacobs.
And Jacobs, as I said, was considered the best. It's 4 for 4 out of 8 right now, so they're running even. I think Hofstra would take that any day against a guy like Jacobs.
Hofstra working a new midfield unit in. Gargiulo is on number 2 with Alexander, and number 3 is Langtree. Basically what they do is rotate 4 midfielders in the 3 spots on each of their units. Not as deep, of course, as Johns Hopkins, which has actually 4 midfield units.
Well, they probably could run 5 against most teams, too, Barry. They're so deep in talent.
Miller working against Van Horn. Got him twisted. Down on the ground he went. Loose ball, Gargiulo coming up with it. Gargiulo's played well.
Very well. I'll tell you, I see the Johns Hopkins guys hacking away at the Hofstra guys, and there's no flags thrown.
Well, no man-up situation so far for Hofstra, and Hopkins has enjoyed 2. This is Langtree, the freshman from St. Anthony's High School. One of the fine Catholic school programs here on the island. Now he's having trouble. Alexander trying to help out. A little pushing going on there. And Hofstra will get the free ball here.
But the one thing I noticed, saying you can't throw to a man who's covered. That's exactly what Langtree did. It got Hofstra in trouble. They've got to be patient, Barry. Look for the good shot. Make them make a bad defensive mistake.
Alexander dished it off. This is Gargiulo inverting. He's big and strong, Gargiulo. Doesn't have a lot of speed, but he's a powerful player. 6'2", 195. Look up top. Alexander with a crank shot wide. And Hofstra retains possession.
But that's what they're going to do, Barry. He went behind, drew an extra man, fed it out front end, and got a good shot off.
Alexander with a good shot. Jacobs will put it in play.
Though I would say, Barry, shoot overhand so you get on the cage.
He's working against Kaiser with the long pole. So Alexander against Kaiser, number 10, who has the long pole. Now they swing it around. Look on the wing. That was Panos. Miller. Jacobs. Fired it just wide. Good move by Jacobs.
Good move by Jacobs. And that's where being small and quick around the crease really counts. He just literally went under the check, came around, took that good quick shot. So far, I really like what Hofstra's doing on offense. They're right in this ball game. Right in this ball game, Barry. This is not a fluke right now. They're playing them dead even.
And Johns Hopkins will take advantage of the ball going out of play to bring in a fresh midfield unit, a defensive group here. Try to slow down Hofstra.
What the other thing they're doing, Barry, is they're keeping the ball away from the Hopkins attack. That's really key. Keep a low-scoring game, and they're in the game the whole way.
Hofstra tied at 3, 10:40 to go, second quarter. Barry Landers, along with Bob Rule, Matt Lachlan. Hope you're enjoying the action here. And we've got another Hofstra game coming your way this weekend, Saturday against Yale. right here on Sports Channel.
In that game, Barry, the money is going to support the Long Island Metropolitan Lacrosse Association, which goes for scholarships and for the Hall of Fame, a lot of things.
Score! Holland up top on the good look from behind by Blake Miller.
That's what they do, Barry. Stay patient, look for the good shot, and that's how they're going to score. A terrific play.
Brian Holland coming up with his 17th goal. He had 2 goals against Hopkins last year when he scored 13, and Tony Seaman's club has fallen behind once again.
Well, Brian's a goal scorer. He had 16 goals this year. I mean, you know he can score. He's from West Islip. He was an all-county player there. Good play. Now watch this. Blake Miller looks, feeds across the top of the goal. Now watch this good overhand shot. Overhand bounce shot. That's what you got to do. Bangs that ball home. Extra play. Again, look from behind the cage. Look at that. Good overhand bounce shot.
Defense late and sliding to pick him up. You saw Kuzma come out, but they were like packing it in defensively and left the top of the box area. Well, you got to check. Bodies go flying here.
You got to be patient. That's not what happened then.
John Danowski talking to Blake Miller.
Now, here's one of those unforced errors we're talking about right now. He went offsides when Hopkins had the ball, which means you're down for 30 seconds. And Hopkins, man up, is a very potent force to reckon with.
Well, that's like putting a gun to your head and playing Russian roulette. The Islanders know that's the way they've been killing penalties of late.
Well, they'll go to 3-3, and then they'll roll somebody behind the goal, probably Marr, to really control it.
Well, they swing it down the wing. Picola up top. Evans hits the pipe with a blast. Look at that ricochet to midfield.
Well, the posts were always my best friend. I always liked them.
Bob Rule, great goalie at Cornell. When they had a great team in the 70s. That was a long time ago, folks.
We won the national championship right here, the very first NCAA championship.
That one whistled wide on the hard outside shot. And that was taken by Chris Macon, the senior from Baltimore, who has 10 goals. He plays man up and a real hard shooter. Penalty will expire now. They're all even. Picola. Now to Marr. Look on the crease. Oh, that one bounces on that last shot taken by Billy Evans. Here's Picola. Now Marr playing up top. He normally plays behind, and he'll take the ball behind.
Look at how Marr's always got his head up, though, Barry. He's always looking to find some open guy.
Great vision. Picola rifles it wide.
Picola's looking, I guess he said Picola. That was Reardon looking for his buddy on the crease.
The give and take of the 2 Long Island youngsters who have broken just about all the records at Johns Hopkins. Now they'll work it behind. Look on the wing. This is Marr, who's a good scorer in his own right, but usually passes up shots to give it to someone else.
Well, I'll bet next year when Reardon and Picola are gone, he'll probably show a little more of the goal-scoring load.
Well, this is Tom Roscoe, 29, as they work their second midfield unit in right here. Picola trying to set a pick there. This is Marr swinging right. And Spruitt got a piece of that one.
Look at how they're swarming ground balls there, Barry. That's what they want to do.
Good hustle by Hofstra as they were the last to the ball. Altmansberger, good job there.
And people have to realize, if you're not familiar with the game, when a shot is taken, it's closest man to the ball when it goes out of bounds, gains possession. That time it was Altmansberger for Hofstra.
John Hall over there, number 41, good job as well. And Hopkins trailing Hofstra 4-3. How about their ride here?
Well, what they're running is called an attack zone. What they're trying to do is force them to make a bad mistake, like that.
Newman comes up with the ball as Picola slipped. Altmansberger will get checked over the head of Holland. But Hofstra again fortunate to come up with those ground balls.
A lot of Hofstra bounces tonight, Barry.
Indeed.
Nice play by Dave Newman. See how he blocked the ball with his body for you young defensemen. Don't try to catch it. Block with your body, then pick it up.
Jacobs working against Kuzma, brought him from behind the cage. Kuzma, their best one-on-one defender. All-American candidate. Now Panos, who's a good scorer. He's been held rather quiet tonight. Again, Hofstra showing patience. We hit the halfway mark in this second quarter. They lead it surprisingly 4-3. Holland. Good save by Marcus, who's quick hands. And look at that outlet pass, a beauty. Gets the fast break going. And they'll work it down. Here's the shot and the score. Johns Hopkins, Tom Roscoe, the 5'8 senior from Bayshore here in Long Island, has tied the score. Timeout on the field. We'll be back. We're tied at 4.
Foul, delay game. Too many men on the field. 30-second foul. The second foul is number 4. First foul is the in-home. Orange, please.
Okay, what they did was, they were offsides first, they had 7 men down. Hofstra got confused, they put another man on the field on the offensive side of the field, so now they had too many men on the field. Now what they'll do, they'll box it up. See how it's called boxing up. Hofstra has 4 men, they'll box it up, give them the outside shot, don't let anybody come to the crease. What Hopkins is going to want to do is go to a 1-4-1 and move the ball around as quickly as possible, work for that outside shot.
So it's 6 against 4 defenders. They should get a good opportunity here, and they get it in close. Stewart with a save on the rebound, the flag thrown, and let's see what the call's going to be here. It could be against Hopkins.
They got... Nope. Okay, now they're going to triangle it. I have not seen this in a long time, Barry.
This will be another penalty.
They got it from a hole. Now, in lacrosse, there is no limit. Like hockey, you can only go down 2 men. Lacrosse, you go down as many as you have. They now are triangling. I have not seen this in 10 years.
Rich Langtree called for the penalty, so it's 6 against 3.
They'll triangle it. What a great job if they were to stop them now.
They'll swing it. Evans. Here's Reardon. Oh, Stewart, a big save. Ball loose. Evans chasing after it. And it's picked up by Hofstra. Ullman will keep clear down here.
Nice play by the defenseman.
Evans tripped by Altenberger. The ball loose. And Hopkins will pick it up.
Can't be too much time.
Now to Reardon. The look. And Stewart can't stop the shot, but enclosed by Chris Macon.
Too bad, Barry. His defenseman's got to throw the ball a little farther on that. Get it down beyond the midfield line.
Dave Ullman almost got it across downfield far enough, but not quite far enough.
And we got to go. Mark Stewart made a terrific save on a one-on-one in there to start that whole sequence. Now he tries to clear the ball, but he's just a little short. Great play by the defenseman. Put your body in front and let it get back on the offense. Just too many men down the field. You don't see teams going down 3 men too often.
Well, all the men are out of the box right now. It's 6-on-6 technical violation against Minnow. So Marchand coming up with the ball, and a chance for Hopkins to take the lead for the first time.
I'll tell you, Marchand's in there, Barry, for his sheer quickness. He's beating Minnow, who's big and strong like Jacobs, on his quickness versus his strength.
That shows you the versatility of this team to go to a player like Marchand, who could be an All-American in his own right. Alexander trying to defend as they work the ball around the perimeter. Tom Roscoe is in, number 29 on the midfield. He set a double screen in the crease area. Now the look behind. Marv, pass on the wing. And the shot, Stewart could not stop the bouncer by Casey Gordon. And Hopkins, on a apparent weak goal given up by Stewart, has taken the lead for the first time.
That was almost a change of pace when he came around the goal, found that man open. Now this is key for Hofstra. Win this face up, go down and settle down, and come right back again.
Well, they tied it at 4:31, came back at 5:11 to take the lead.
Here's the play. Now watch, he makes a good dodge, but you got to check him. Watch this, it's almost as if he takes a soft shot and Stewart just doesn't see it. Casey Gordon, a soft shot to the corner.
Well, Gordon, who can beat people one-on-one, gets his 11th goal of the year, and a huge one, as Marchand again dominating, coming up with the ball, using his quickness.
Well, I said earlier, Barry, they can beat you offensively 10 different ways, and that's what's happening right now.
Kaiser's pass deflected all the way down across field, and Hofstra will get the ball back, and this is a key possession here.
You know what I noticed, Barry? Look at a kid like Casey Gordon. He went to the Gilman School, which is a great lacrosse school in Maryland, but he was a football player, all Metro. Look at how many of these guys played other sports and were successful. I think that people who start to specialize too young, it's a big mistake.
Pruitt facing pressure. He's an excitable kid, sometimes loses his cool, but he's played brilliantly. He's got to come up with another big save the next time the ball's thrown at him as Hofstra turns it over here.
Can't do that. He's got to catch that ball. He's a little too anxious. He really kind of looked away from the ball, thinking about going upfield. All right, if you look at this now, turnovers now 7-5, okay, for Hofstra.
Well, they're turning the ball over here, and this is what Hopkins could do. They can exploit you very easily off a turnover. This is Gordon, who got the go-ahead goal, number 22. Big 6'2", 200-pounder, taking Altmansberger, the long pole defensive midi behind. He pulls away. Pruitt got a piece of it, will come out of the cage. He'll look to clear, but is able to catch that ball, knocked away from Hannigan.
This is what's hurting them right now, Barry.
Oh, here's Gordon. Check, loose ball. Gordon again. And Moore will chase the ball down to the far side.
Gordon was waiting for the perfect shot. He should have shot 2 steps earlier before he got piled into the Hofstra defense.
He's having his best year, Gordon, and that one from outside.
I'll tell you, great save by Spruitt. It hit his elbow, deflected wide. Mark Spruitt's having a great game, Barry, because every save, he's got to move on the ball. These Hopkins guys are great shooters. They're not hitting him. He's got to move for every shot.
What was your forte when you were in the cage?
I'd wedge myself in. I gained as much weight as I could, wedge myself in and say, beat me.
All right, Reardon trying to beat Human here, going left. And that one will be wide.
I tell you, good defense by Dave Human. Sign of a great defense, Barry. Addition of physical skills is patience. He was patient then. He never got, Terry Reardon never got a good shot off.
Hopkins stepping up the tempo. They've had 10 shots here to 2 here in the third quarter for Hofstra. And they've taken the lead after trailing by 2. They lead 7-6. Reardon going left. Just missed the cages. He was able to beat Human with a quick shot.
I tell you, that's a patented shot. He goes left. He shoots back away from the goalie. What happens then, Barry? The goalie's moving right. He shoots back to the left. It's very hard for goalie to change directions.
Marr again to Reardon. Sweeps in on Altmansberger. Goes right-handed. Spruitt knocked it down, and a big save there.
Now, good play by Spruitt. You know why? That's interference, automatic clear. I teach all goaltenders, throw right through that man, hit his stick. If it's a good pass, it's a fast break. If it's not, now watch this. He's going to throw right through the guy. You can't interfere with the goalie at all. Watch. He throws hard and deliberately bangs that man. Terry Reardon, good play. Very good play by Spruitt. He learned that at camp from me. At least I hope so.
Bob Rule, one of the, quote, great coaches on Long Island. 9 shots for Reardon tonight. He scored a couple of goals. And now Hofstra looking to tie it here. Midway through this third quarter, we've got a dandy in case you're just tuning in. Number 1 in the country, Johns Hopkins leading for the first time tonight. 7-6, Hofstra trying to tie it. This is Rich Gargiulo.
So Rick Gargiulo's got a smaller guy on, that's why he demanded the ball. It was a smart play.
Up top to Langtree, the freshman who scored earlier against Marchand, sweeping right. Off to Miller. Gargiulo. Tightly checked. Kuzma picked him up there. And now Kaiser trying to defend Miller, who sweeps to his right. Gets the bounce shot. Miller will hustle to pick up the rebound. Miller trying to come around, gets the shot off and scores! Great effort for Blake Miller.
Blake Miller is hungry out there, Barry. He picked up his own rebound on one shot, came around and scored. A terrific play by Blake Miller.
Second goal of the game, 14th of the year, and his 7th in the last 3 games for this kid getting hot.
He is on fire right now, Barry. A terrific effort. And you know what I like?
All right, time out of the field. We'll be right back. We're tied at 7. You're watching college lacrosse on Sports Channel.
And now, Roy Rogers.
My original roast beef has caused a stampede. Folks coming in droves to put on a feed. It's cooked in the restaurant, sliced before your eyes. A mountain of roast beef reaching for the sky. So if you want the best roast beef in town, round up your herd and drive them on down.
Now for only 39 cents more, make your Roundup combo the new Big Roundup with a whopping 32-ounce drink and extra large holster of fries. Only at Roy Rogers.
Discover some of the finest championship golf courses in the country. Discover fabulous Myrtle Beach, South Carolina from just $59. Call Myrtle Beach Jet Express at 1-800-FUN-2-SUN and fly non-stop jet service from JFK or Newark International to Myrtle Beach from just $59. Discover over 60 miles of beaches, over 80 championship golf courses, and delicious seafood dining. It's fabulous Myrtle Beach from just $59 on Myrtle Beach Jet Express. Call 1-800-FUN-2-SUN.
Well, the fired up huddle of John Danowski's club. Well, that's what a goal will do for you.
And a goal came at a great time. Okay, they said, hey, they scored. We turn right around and score again. Here comes Blake Miller. Watch this effort. It gets pounded, and he shoots a great shot to the far side. Here he comes around again. The guy, instead of playing good defense on him, was a little almost to take it away. Actually turns out to be a screen, okay? And sets up a great screen and ends up with Blake Miller scoring a goal.
The young man he beat was Werner Kruger, number 40, the defender, the midfielder.
Well, he was a small guy. Blake Miller was smart to go on him. They just won another face-off, Barry.
Hofstra coming up with the ball. A good job there off that face-off. Number 38 was Chris Ferguson. Second face-off he's won. But now Johns Hopkins has the ball. Deadlock at 7. 6:30 to go, and a well-played third quarter. Transition here for the Blue Jays. Now they'll slow it down. Up top now to Marchand. He's been kept in check. He's an explosive player, Marchand. Going against Holland, got a quick shot off. He has one of the hardest shots on the team. Spruitt with a nice outlet to Holland. Holland, chase, look at Marchand catch up to him. Holland cut it off. And here's a shot, and it's going Rocket! Kevin Jacobs scoring!
Kevin Jacobs picked up a perfect feed and rocketed that ball up the left-hand corner. A great fast break, and it starts with Mark Spruitt picking that ball up and clearing the ball very rapidly. This goalie's got so much confidence right now. Here he comes, going downfield. Now you look for the point man on the break. That's Jacobs. Jacobs takes it instead of feeding it. Watch somebody in shot. Rockets it right over the top of Marcus's stick.
Known as a feeder, he gets the 20th goal of his career, of his the season, and that has put Hofstra back on top 7-6, and they come up with the ball again. Minnow that time coming up with the ball. First fast break that Hofstra has scored off of, and the face-offs are even at 9-9 in this game.
And I'll tell you, that's one of the big keys of this ball game right now, Barry. They're playing these guys even up.
Alexander. So Hofstra showing a lot of grit after giving up 2 goals 40 seconds apart to fall behind. Alexander and Marcus coming up with a stop. Quick outlet as he finds a man open. Roscoe brought it down. He scored earlier on a fast break, you'll recall.
They play 6-on-6, Barry. That's what Hofstra wants to do. Play 6-on-6 with these guys, not fast break.
Picola working against Human. They got a pick from Marr there. Now Picola doubled up, got the shot off, and it'll still be Hopkins' ball.
But it was a smart double, Barry, because Picola could not get it to the open man, because if he turned, he was going to turn right into the double. That was an excellent double by Hofstra.
5:01 to go here in the third quarter. John Danowski's club trying to pull off a stunning upset against the #1 team in the nation, Johns Hopkins. Hopkins came in averaging 17 goals a game. They've been held so far to 7. Nice deflection by Hofstra. Trying to come up with the ball, the long stick, Chris Bergensen. Human was there as well. Reardon back to Picola. And they'll reset here. Number 17 working the ball. As they'll set it up is Chris Macon. Macon taking his man behind. He's a shooter. Good defense by Hofstra. Altmansberger doing a good job on Marr.
They've got Marr out front, Barry, to try to feed the crease out front, put a little more pressure on the defensive side.
Well, the guy who's the best passer in college lacrosse doesn't make a good pass there. Trying to get it to Macon, he threw it away.
You know what I like? Altmansberger was right in his face with a stick and distract him a little bit.
But Doug Altmansberger, who had been playing close defense, has been moved from close D, switching with Langtree, Rich Langtree position.
Yeah.
And that's been a big help to the team.
And I was going to say, to me, he's the heart of the defense. He plays hurt, he plays tough.
Alexander had it checked out of his stick. He'll go after it again. And he loses the ball out of bounds, and Hopkins will get it back with 3:56 to go.
This is what Hofstra can't do, Barry. That was really an unforced error. He's got to get the ball over the line and gain control of it.
Well, third quarter's been a good quarter for Hofstra this year. They've outscored their opponents even before tonight, 28-16. Right now, Marcus, who has not been outstanding in goal. He has given up 8 goals and has made only 6 saves.
But they've been quality shots, Barry. That's what we talked about earlier, that Hofstra had to make sure they were going to take good shots when they were going to shoot the ball.
Marchand finding Billy Evans open. Evans will try it. Screw it. Went for it, missed the net.
If I'm Screw it, I'll have him shoot them out there all day long, because that's far enough away so you have plenty of time to react. This is the kid you don't want with the ball.
Well, so far, Reardon has not killed him. Evans, they swing it on the wing. Marchand, nice move inside. Scores! Oh, Marchand with a couple of nifty moves. Makes it a 1-goal game, tying it here at 8-8.
And you see the quickness of Marchand then. He took the ball and just literally used his quickness to beat 2 Hofstra defenders and dump the ball in the goal.
Well, he had 14 goals last year. He comes up with his 11th this year to tie the score at 8.
Now watch this. He makes a little fake. The defender overreacts. But watch him come back. He beats the double, shoots a good low bounce shot, overhand, scores. Not hard, Barry, but accurate. That's what really counts when you're in close.
Jude Urbar, the junior midfielder, was in trying to defend against him with a short stick, but Marchand will beat most middies one-on-one.
Well, he's just too quick, Barry. You got to have good backup against him.
He's got tremendous raw ability, and if he ever puts it all together, he's going to be a dominant midfielder perhaps next year.
Well, that's what they say. He's been an honorable mention All-American the last 2 years, really based on his ability more than what he's accomplished on the field.
Well, he's got a laser shot, as we saw from the outside. He's got great moves, great roll dodger. And right now, Hofstra locked in an 8-8 duel as they watch from the sideline. 3:09 to go. They have given it all here tonight before this big crowd on a lovely Tuesday evening. Now here's Marchand finding Evans. Evans given a lot of room. Looking up top to Marchand. Altmansberger picks him up. Marchand sweeps right and scores.
Marchand is so quick. He's taking control right here, taking charge.
Well, the bio major from Severna Park, Maryland, who's got electrifying speed. And we talked about the quick shot. He scores in close, and he scores from up top.
Well, you look at him, he's a 2-time high school All-American. You can see why. He is what I call a smooth ball player, Barry. He's not a rough and tumble guy. He's going to beat you with speed, finesse. Here he catches the feed. Now watch this. Just a good dodge. Look at that movement, that little stutter step, and a terrific shot away from the goalie stick low. Notice how he shoots overhand, too, folks. He comes around, shoots a good overhand shot away from Spruitt's stick. Can't do better than that.
Jacobs on the faceoff beats Bergensen now. And Jacobs, who's had a rather quiet game, drops it off. Hopkins with a 1-goal lead. This is the biggest lead they've enjoyed twice tonight. They've led by a goal. 2 goals, 32 seconds apart by Marchand, has put his club in front 9-8. Under 2.5 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.